La 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 la. Bum bum bum. Digga-da-dum, digga-da-da-da-dum.
Hi, and welcome to AndreSueKnits. I'm Andy, and welcome to this little show about knitting, spinning, and general craftiness. And today I have my dear friend Sue back on the podcast. Welcome, Sue.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you could come back. It's been like what?
Been a while.
Would you say 4 weeks?
Maybe. I feel like it's been a while.
It does. I feel out of practice, if I'm honest.
We're both really out of practice. We're both honest. It's okay. We can do this.
We can. And I have a confession that I haven't really been crocheting much or spinning much.
Well, I have been crocheting a lot.
I know. And
Just in the last 2 days. Not for the last month, the last 2 days.
but there is an FO that we're gonna get to see.
A huge FO. I've been doing no spinning. I went through this like crazy. It spun until midnight one night. I haven't spun since. Really, truly. It's like I really got to get back to it.
Which means we've come up with a deadline that we're gonna talk about here in a little bit, so we can hold our feet to the fire and maybe make some progress. Because I gotta say, I detoured. I've been all over the map. But part of my detour is I did get back into dyeing, which I'm really, really excited about.
I'm super excited for you.
I took my craft room and created a dye studio for myself in there, and I'm hoping that my updates will be regular going forward.
I so wish I could copy you. Like as you were doing it and we were chatting, I thought I honestly could do it in my basement, but I have basement issues.
You like the windows.
I like the windows. I like to be on an upper floor, and I'm petrified of mice. And this time of year, because it is freezing in Connecticut, it's so weird that yesterday when you texted me, you were like, it's 80 degrees. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like in front of 2 fireplaces, blankets, it's freezing. And when that happens, they sneak in and they get into the drop ceiling.
That's kind of scary. We had mice in Oklahoma I don't think we've had them here in Virginia, but we had them quite bad in Oklahoma.
They freak me out. So I'm staying upstairs, but I'm so excited for you and envious because to be able to close a door and not have to remove everything, scrub everything down, all that stuff that's involved in a kitchen setup.
It's really, really nice. Now I had to take over, like temporarily while I'm dyeing, I do take over the upstairs hall bathroom, which is Abigail's bathroom, but I don't think she minds that much. But it is really, really nice to leave the setup out, the dyes out, like the whole shebang out, and not have it in the middle of the kitchen and dining room when I'm trying to make dinner. You know, I can walk downstairs and leave it behind. And I'm hoping that'll help me keep going. I think I had to take a break in the middle just because it was just in the middle of my life all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's really hard. And you still have, your girls aren't young, but they're not little, but they're still in your home requiring things. It's a whole different ball game.
I don't know what it's like to have all the freedom you have at this point.
It's pretty amazing, but at the same time, I miss it terribly.
I can see that. I mean, I can imagine that for sure.
You really do. And you go through periods where you're over it and then it comes back again. It's really weird. But now tell us, okay, talk about it. I want to hear all about it.
Well, I'll show you. I have a couple of designs that I'm going to be updating the shop with on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I brought back the butterflies. And these are super saturated. I like the saturated color in these. But I thought I'd do a contrasting, like with the butterflies being super saturated, something a little bit more muted and something that comes out at nighttime. I got some moss. And these, since it's a new design, I was playing with different colorways for these guys.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And so I haven't settled on a colorway. All these colorways will be in Saturday's update. But then, since I have a sock machine, not a sock machine, a knitting machine. That's what you have a sock knitting machine.
I have a sock knitting machine, which is ridiculous. Someday you will have my sock knitting machine.
One of these days, maybe at Rhinebeck we'll do an exchange.
We need an exchange.
But since I had the knitting machine, I was thinking, how fun would it be to do like mini blanks, right? Like people sell mini skeins. I was thinking it might be fun to do some mini blanks where it's a smaller piece of knitting with a design on it, maybe 20 grams. I think that's a popular size. Isn't that what your minis are?
My minis are 20 grams, and I honestly, that's all I want now. I don't want less because you can do so much. You can put a couple stripes in your granny stripe blanket, plus a cozy memory square. I'm going to be using my Christmas ones because I have them all. This isn't one, but this is a 20 gram.
I love that. That's quirky. Are you calling him
Kirk? I just call him Kirk on the piece of paper, but he's quirky to me.
Do you have the sock? You knit him up, didn't you? You've got a sock?
I do. And oh my gosh, I love him. Here he is.
I adore the way Kirk knits up.
I just love Kirk, period. And then to have it turn out this way, because I really just kept thinking of him as just a hot mess and every color possible just dump in, and it worked.
Yeah.
So when we were talking earlier, I was twisting
my
minis.
Love those.
But with my 20 gram skeins, I'm going to be putting a block in my cozy memory and then making a mini sock for an advent line. Actually, I shouldn't even call it an advent line. It's just going to be in my office all the time.
Like a little mini sock garland, Christmas garland, or not even Christmas garland, just...
It's just going to be up. It's going to have like little clothespins. It's going to be a little clothesline.
I've seen those little decorative clothespins at Michael's. You could string it on twine and
I know, I have some of those. So I love 20 grams is my point.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And maybe I just haven't decided when I'm going to introduce them. If I can, it'll probably not be this update, but it'll be the following Saturday update. And I've got some ideas for designs for sets of little mini blanks. Corey was telling me I should call them blinks instead of blanks because they're little. He thought that was so they could be sock blinks.
He's such a word guy.
He is. When Rachel is posting to Instagram, she always asks him for help with the captions.
Yeah, because he is quite clever, I must admit, with those words.
When I suggest captions, she just shakes her head and she's like, I'll ask Dad.
I've witnessed that. I think she asked you and then looked to me when we were FaceTiming once. She was like, yeah, never mind. It's all right. I'm okay with it. I know this about myself.
We have strengths in other areas.
Yeah, I can't be good at everything.
Exactly. Speaking of machine knitting, there's a new knitting machine class online I thought I'd mention. The instructor, Renee Callahan, she's got a 50% off coupon for her machine knitting class, which on craftsy.com that I thought I'd share. I'll put a link below and in the show notes as well. But it's eastlondonKnit.co.uk is her website, and the link is on there. And the thing I really liked about her machine knitting class is she covers some like maintenance issues that were missed on the other machine knitting classes. Like there's a contraption on there called a sponge bar that I didn't know where it was, but I knew if I didn't have a good sponge bar, my machine wouldn't work properly, and it was so confusing. Anyway, she shows how to take that out, and just an overview of the machine that was missing on the other machine knitting classes. And it focuses on sweater knitting mostly. But the sponge bar piece was crucial because
I do not get along with machines at all. I so want to be a machine person.
I know. I think if you could, it's interesting when I talk to different people who craft. Like I ran into somebody who's familiar with the podcast at Joann's, and we were talking about like sewing because we were in the fabric section. And she was like, she just likes to sit and do handwork. And I think it depends on what you like in your crafts, right? Like I love the handwork, but I also like the production, the producing and the making. So like sewing and machine knitting also appeals because I really like the producing.
I agree with you, but I feel like I have complete control when I'm hand doing anything.
Like like because you like cross stitch and
Oh,
rug
yeah.
hooking, like the hand manipulation. But when a
Mhm.
machine gets involved,
My goal when my kids were born was to start them each a wedding ring afghan and do it completely by hand. So for their weddings, they would each get one. Complete fail. Chelsea's been married a year and a half. No. And no, it didn't happen. And you'd have to start it when they're born because they would take forever. I mean, I'm talking piecing everything.
on like the paper by hand, yeah, I have no idea how people produce like quilt after quilt when they're hand stitching.
I think they have those quilting bees. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, maybe so. Like
How
my
fun would that be?
that would be a blast actually. To like sit around with a bunch of friends, especially like those big quilting frames and just chat and stitch on someone's quilt. That would be a ball.
You'd have to all be good, though. Don't you think? It would be like, oh, wow, I don't think I know. I don't think I want Mary because I don't think her stitches are exactly. That's not nice. But I think
No,
I would be
I would think
little.
that too. I totally would.
I know. I think I'd be like, oh, I'm not sure about her, but I'll let her.
That is exactly what I would think actually.
I know. But that is so exciting. So the giveaway, or not giveaway, but she's giving a great coupon code.
Yeah, 50% off on the machine knitting basics class. Again, her website is eastlondonKnit.co.uk/blog is where her little ad for her 50% off on that class. So if you've got a machine out there and you're not using it, I highly recommend taking one of these classes on Craftsy for sure.
That's super generous.
I agree. I agree. I had heard, well, I don't know if I should give away the Craftsy secret. I had heard that a lot of the instructors that teach on Craftsy are given coupon codes for their own classes so they can promote their classes on their websites. So, like, just a sneaky little tip with Craftsy might not be fond of me sharing this, but a lot of times if I want to take a class, I will look up the instructor, go to their website, and see if I can't find a coupon for 50% off. And a lot of times I can.
You've shared that with me, and that's a really good little tip.
I don't think I've paid full price for any of the classes I've taken since I learned that little trick.
I wait for sales. There's one that I really want to take that I'm avoiding at all costs because it's just going to bring me down another rabbit hole.
Which one?
Sue Spargo, the great embroiderer of all times, which small world. She used to live in the town next to mine.
So you
Which,
know her personally.
well, she wouldn't remember me. It was from 100 years ago when I had my frame shop. She took stitching classes from me. She was really a cool, even then I loved her. And she has gone on to create this unbelievable empire. And I would kill to take a class from her. She's not on the East Coast anymore. I don't even remember where she is, but she's not on the East Coast. But I follow her, and the minute she shows up in this neck of the woods, I am signed up. Her work is like penny rug plus embroidery embellishments. Like anybody that doesn't know who she is, go check her out. She's amazing.
Now, does she have a class coming up online?
She has a class on Craftsy.
Oh, I didn't know that. I do follow her on Instagram since you turned me on to her, but I didn't realize she had a Craftsy class.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm just going to buy it. I'm going to buy it, but I know.
Yeah, another rabbit hole. Well, speaking of rabbit holes, I did buy a new tool for a new rabbit hole because of Nancy of Round Rabbit Podcast. It's called Punch Needle. Have you heard of that?
I'm obsessed. You know, I love punch needle.
I didn't know you liked a punch needle.
I have a stack of punch needle that's done.
Okay, I think you told me this, and it was like out the back of my head. I bought a punch needle, and I'm dying to try it. It reminds me of the 70s. Was punch needle It makes me think my grandma did it. Like the fuzzy embroidery makes me think of my grandma.
Could be. I feel like there's a punch rug that's similar where you use yarn and you punch it. Punch needle combined with penny rugs is my favorite thing in this whole wide world.
Okay, now what is a penny rug?
A penny rug. Oh, we should have prepared better. I have
Do
to
you
look
have
at
one down under your desk?
I'm gonna go beneath. Maybe we'll
Okay.
cut this part out.
Okay.
Oh, and I found out my punch needle. It's all here.
Do you have works in progress and all of that?
I am finished.
Wow.
Okay.
I want to try. I really, really want to try punch needle. Okay, so you found all your punch needle.
I found my punch needle. You want to see it?
Yes.
You're gonna die. I have a ton.
I want to see.
The problem with punch needle for me is the finishing, because I'm not a finisher. Okay.
Sheep. That is so cute. Now, okay, so
you work from the back.
Because the loops hang underneath.
Yep.
Now, when you have punch needle, do you put it on pillows? Do you hang it in hoops? Like, what do you...
You could. This one I want to frame.
That is adorable.
I was obsessed. The thing that I found with punch needle is it's very pricey to do.
Because it uses so much... Do you use regular floss?
You can. Wait till you see this. This I want on a penny rug, and I will show you what a penny rug is.
That is adorable.
Is this a sin?
What do you mean? Oh, that it's like in there and not finished?
Look at this one.
Okay, that's my favorite one so far.
Right?
So tell me, Sue, what do you do with these? To like finish it, do you hang them on the wall or do you...
I would like them. This one isn't finished and I don't even know where all the thread is. That's a sin.
What thread do you use?
I use DMC. I use some pearl cottons. This is just a sin because I don't know where the rest is to finish it. I use a pearl cotton. I like even better because it's on a spool. If you can use anything on a spool, you don't keep rethreading that punch needle.
Right.
So
do you use DMC like as is? You don't like divide the threads, right? Because I think embroidery, I usually use 3 strands instead of all 6.
I think I divided it. This does not look like 6 strands. And a lot of times I use I know this has some gentle art threads in it, which are
that is so cute.
Isn't that adorable? Okay, so I would love to have them put on penny rugs. Now, you're going to die when you see this. This is a sin, because this is a bed rug that I'm in the middle of making. I'm removing pins because they could create rust, and I left pins in it.
What is a bed rug?
Okay, a bed rug is a covering for your bed. But these are called bed rugs. I think maybe because they're so heavy, so they're made out of wool. Again, oh my, you're going to die.
I want to see. That's beautiful.
So
is that felt? It looks like wool felt.
It's felted wool. Felted wool. I bought the kit. Every month you went and you got your next block.
So is it going to be a bed size?
Yep.
Wow. That's beautiful. And it's all hand stitched, it looks like.
All hand stitched with a blanket stitch. See, this is why. See those stitches? Oh, you might not be able to see them. That's why I would have to make sure that Mary or Jane stitch properly in the quilting bee.
Now, do you do that? Do you put batting in them and a backing, or do you just sew them together and lay them on the bed?
I have strips of wool that need to be added. It's a sin.
Wow, that looks like you have a lot of time invested.
They go really fast, but you cut every piece, you iron down with like the fusible stuff, and then you blanket stitch around. I have a ton done. Look at these. These are all done.
Now, do you have the instructions so you can finish? I bet you do.
I hope so. Look it. Now this one is half started. And it's got the pieces cut out and the floss.
Now these are called, you said, bed blankets?
This is a
Bed
bed rug.
rug. Okay, bed rug.
If you go look, here's another one half started. Oh my goodness, it's a sin.
Wow, you need to finish that.
I know. Look at this one with all the pins in it, ready to go.
Ready for you to stitch them down.
Aren't they
Wow,
beautiful?
they are beautiful.
I invested a lot of time in this, and then I put it down.
And probably money too, because felted wool is, my mom sells it in her quilt shop.
She's probably familiar with this.
She might be. She's coming to visit me on Thursday.
I know.
Coming in from Oklahoma. Wow, you have a lot of finished squares, Sue. They just keep coming. It looked like there was tweed in a couple of them. It looked
There
like
is. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna go look through that box. I have a box.
Okay, so what's a penny rug before we switch gears here?
This to me would be like a penny rug.
So a penny rug and a bed rug are the same thing?
Well, no. And everyone's screaming like, Sue, you have no idea what you're talking about. I have a penny rug mat. So what I consider penny rug stuff is anything that's felted wool with pieces and blanket stitch around it.
Okay.
So, and everyone is going, Sue, really look it up because it's not that. That's what I always consider. So what I would do is I would cut this if I knew how to do it, cut it so that it's down to the original, and then I would put this on a piece of felt, and then I think these are called some kind of ears. See the half crescents?
Mm-hmm.
You would put those all the way around with the buttonhole stitch.
Okay, so you would attach this to a piece of felt and then attach the piece of felt to your bed rug.
No.
Oh.
So we're going to forget about the bed rug. The bed rug doesn't exist. It's just going to be a mat.
Okay.
So I'm going to have this on a piece of felted wool that's bigger but oval. Okay. And then on that oval, I may embellish it with other pieces, shapes cut out of felted wool, and buttonhole stitch them down. And this would be a place like a mat.
Like a decorative table runner or something along those lines.
Like
okay.
A penny rug doily.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think that Nancy Round Rabbit, who's the one I never even knew it was called needle punch until she started posting them. I think she leaves it in hoops and maybe displays them in hoops, but I could be wrong.
You can. Did you get the, see now, and I've talked about this. I'll show you this one last thing that I love to use to do sorry. So this is a stretcher bar. And
wow.
These are deadly. I use the same product to do rug hooking, but it's much finer and smaller. So you stretch your piece over this.
For the needle punching.
Yes, you stretch it so it's really tight. These are grippers, so it grips it, and then you're looking at the back. So
right.
The pattern is stamped on the back, and then you start it's so much fun.
I really want to do it. I need to get one of those. I don't have one of those.
Yeah, these. I wish I remembered. There's a website that has great penny rug.
No, you keep saying penny rug again.
I meant punch needle.
Okay, because okay. Just want to make sure you say penny rug, and then I'm thinking bed rug. What is a penny rug again?
No, they probably have those too, but it's a great website. I don't know what it is though. Somebody's screaming.
I need to PM Nancy and ask her about her threads.
They're hard to find. Punch needle is not readily available, I have to admit. Online it is, and there's great sites.
I bought my needle on Amazon. I just was like, I can't stand seeing her punch needle stuff anymore without having a punch needle. So I ordered one from Amazon, and it came with 3, but I haven't. Okay, so it must be 3 different sizes?
Yes, I have a very, if I knew where it was, I would show you. Mine is different. It's very fine. I got mine. I had a friend that owned a counted thread shop, and she specialized in punch needle. That's where I actually got a lot of my materials. I'll show you mine sometime when we're talking because I've seen ones that people are buying and they're much bulkier than the one I have.
Yeah, mine was not expensive. It was like each. I think I got the set of three for like $12. So they're probably not high quality punch needles.
They, I don't think I paid a fortune for mine, so I don't think it, I think it's, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The hardest part is threading the darn thing, and I'd have to watch how to do it. I don't remember. You get this long thing to help you thread it, and they're so easy to lose, even though they're long. They're so thin and
If they
delicate that
fall on the floor in the piles of the carpeting, it's gone.
it's all over. It's all over. So, but yeah, I will hunt mine down for the next time we chat. But
I'm
oh my
so
gosh, I love
excited. I
needle.
gotta see yours.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's definitely a rhythm and a feel. And when I first started, I got really good at it. The second time, I was like, wow, I'm not getting that rhythm as good this time.
I'll have to try it. Maybe I'll have one to show next time we record together.
I'll be jealous.
Maybe I'll take one of my sock link designs and do a punch needle. That would be kind of fun.
Don't go super big though, because it requires a lot of threads, small areas. So I would take your monarch butterfly, bring that down to about 6 inches by 4 inches.
Because otherwise it would take forever.
And not even take forever. It would require so much material.
Oh, yeah. And then splitting those long skeins of DMC thread would be, or floss would, that's going to be a pain. I'm going to look. I'm going to look and see if I can find the appropriate thread so I don't have to split the floss.
Yeah, look for gorgeous pearl cotton.
Although I'm sure anybody who's watching that's familiar will probably, hopefully, give us some good tips.
Yeah.
Down below, that would be awesome.
I ended up buying for the last one. I showed up my Periscope. It's a snowman. It's half done. Darn it. Oh, I'm the worst. I get so mad at myself. Like, why do I stop?
Because you're like me. Your attention is like, whoo. And then yeah.
But, oh, it's so annoying. But anyways, what was I going to tell you about that? Darn it. Oh, so I got a lot of specialty, like pearl cotton, hand dyed, that came in balls. I will tell you that snowman cost me $80 in material, and it's this big.
Wow.
It's if you use the really gorgeous threads, DMC you can get away with, and they're beautiful. But this one was like, I almost died when I heard the price. I was like, whoa, I didn't think it would be that much.
Well, you'll show it maybe next time if you find it.
I will. It's somewhere here.
And the rug, one of these days, rug hooking. Seriously.
Oh my gosh, I love rug hooking.
That is something I haven't tried yet either.
It's the ultimate.
You know, I need another hobby. Like, I need a hole in the head, but I'm so tempted.
It is a winter sport, though. It's not a summer sport.
Because of the wool and the weight.
It's heavy. It's hot. It's unless you have air conditioning, which you might have air conditioning, so that's fine then.
Yeah, in Virginia, you have to have it or you would die.
But one last thing. Are you loving dyeing your sock blanks again?
I am. I really, really am. I'm excited to have a space where I can do it that doesn't interrupt my family life. I think I will be able to stick with regular updates with it not. It was really hard, you know, to have to put everything all away for dinner and bring it all back out the next day. I had to take a bunch of stuff to Goodwill. I did donate a bunch of yarn. I found out Goodwill does take yarn. I had to make room, you know, but it was worth it.
Good thing. Everyone's gonna be like, which Goodwill? Which Goodwill?
It's mostly acrylic, like old acrylic went to Goodwill. I did keep my hand dyed good stuff. So it's like wall-to-wall shelving and containers in there. But there's still, the whole center is opened up. And I have a nice work table in the middle in there.
It's great.
Yeah, you keep playing with the idea of bringing your dyeing studio into your office.
Into my office is a place that I would really enjoy dyeing in. But I would miss having this cozy room to just curl up in, which is my favorite spot. And I don't have running water, and I really paid attention one day as I was dyeing as how often I'm in the sink. It's all the time at a certain point. So I just think it will be inconvenient. I still may give it a go just to say, I wonder if I could make it work.
But it
I,
sounds like you'd still have to break down so you could use your office like an office. It might not be a good place to like leave things out.
yeah, it's if I had more counter space. I mean, I have a good amount in this because I have a big L-shaped like slab. That's my desk. But you know what? I think I would miss it terribly.
Yeah, yeah. In the basement, you'd rather die in the kitchen and have it kind of be in the way there than be stuck in the basement, it sounds like.
I would. I think I would maybe find reasons not to work a little more often if it was in the basement. So it's fine. It works. I don't have as busy of a family life as you do at this point, so I can make it work.
Yeah. Well, and I think our processes are very different. I can get away with not having constant running water. I mean, I have to obviously rinse and mix dyes and things like that, but I don't think mine is as water intensive as your process.
I agree. I agree. So yeah, well, I am so excited because I am lucky enough to own two of your sock blanks. One I am using and the other one I am hoarding because I love it so much. I'm gonna make it next Halloween because it's a
Uh,
Halloween one.
the Frankenstein one, that's one of my
Great.
favorite ones.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
That
And Chelsea used hers and she loved every second of that sock blank.
made me so happy. And I was worried her socks were tall enough she wouldn't have a leftover elephant, which is why I made the little elephant embroidery for her. I'm like, if she uses her sock blank, then she'll have the little.
Little, and she's obsessed with elephants.
That's interesting.
I actually dyed a colorway today that I might call elephant ears.
Can I see it? Or
It's
is it
in the,
drawing?
it's drawing, and you know my rule about drawing. I don't even look at it. But anyways, I'm excited for you. I cannot wait to see them all.
I'm excited too. I'm back to designing new things. I can't wait. I can't wait. But I my mom's coming Thursday, so it'll be a shop update this week. I am planning one next week, but it'll probably be smaller because my mom's here. Although she wants to paint sock blanks with me, so that might be interesting.
That's are you good at that? I'm not good at that.
I'm okay at it. The challenge is the room she's staying in is the room I have set up as my dye studio. So like I'm gonna have to like break down the dye studio to put in the guest like the rolly bed, and then so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens next week.
It will. I really my creative process, I work so much better all alone. Like even when people are walking around, it throws me off. I feel like I'm such a baby about it, but it's really it gets in my head. It's really weird. I
There's
can't
a
do it.
zone. There is a zone. Just like when you're knitting, getting a rhythm with knitting. It's the same with dyeing or painting or any other artistic zen, like creation where you there's a zen quality you can get into when you're doing.
There definitely is. And it's weird. I like literally have to psych myself up when I wake up in the morning for what my day is going to be, what I'm going to dye. I don't just show up haphazardly and start. It's
Yeah.
very rare. And I spend a lot of time processing it in my head. Like, what is, like, I'm already starting on tomorrow because I'm done with today. So, like, what is tomorrow? Am I going to dye? I'm not sure. Like, what colors? I don't know. Like, again, there's much more important things to be thinking about.
No, I'm the same way. Like even if I have a design idea in mind, I spend a lot of time playing through the colors and the different options and the sizes and the placements and the all. Yeah, so it'll be interesting with my mom here. I don't think I'll be that productive because it'll be more just playing. Because my mom was an oil painter, although painting sock blanks is a whole is not the oil painting, if you mess up you can just scrape it off. Sock blank painting, if you get the wrong dye in the wrong spot, it is there forever. Yeah,
I would like throw that one out.
that is the most stressful thing I gotta say about painting sock blanks is that every single error is permanent, so it's some high
Well,
pressure.
it's very different because even if you ruin a skein of yarn, it seems like you can always save it in some way. It might not be for the intended color you were doing, but it might create a new color. It might.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see the difference there.
Yeah, when I get an ugly blank or it doesn't turn out the way I want, it's like, what do I do with this? It's hard to recover from that.
I can see that. I could absolutely see that.
And so it's kind of like I'm very controlled. It's a very controlled environment, and yeah, when I'm painting sock blanks because of that.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you. I'll just put
Well,
that
I
out.
appreciate that. Should we talk about what we're supposed to be talking about?
Yes. Let's talk about let's talk about me.
Let's talk about your big old beautiful blanket, shall we?
It's on my lap as usual. I love this blanket. It's staying in my office. It lives on my lap. It is so cozy. When it's freezing in here, it just warms you up.
Now, can you stand up away from I want people to understand how huge this thing is.
It's huge. Okay. I can. Okay, so you can't. I can't. So it's up to my, hold on. It's okay, it's at the bottom of my feet. It's up to my eyes.
It is huge. So it's like at least 5 feet tall, and it's even wider, right? It's like 6 feet wide.
No, I think let's hold it that way. I feel like it's the same. It's a little, no, it's practically the same.
So it's a big square. It
Yeah.
is gorgeous. Okay.
Square. I am in love with it. I have all the ends to weave in.
That's the
Darn it.
worst. And I told you this a couple days ago. I'm like, that makes the magic knot look really, really appealing. Even though I've heard testimony saying that the magic knot has failed a few people, which terrifies me to use it, the fact that it would save me all those ends makes it still really, really appealing.
There's a lot. Now, having said that, like on some of these, as I was crocheting it in.
That is
And
so smart. Yeah.
I did that a lot, but I still feel like I have to do a quick tack back and snip it. Okay, let's talk about the border.
It is gorgeous. It's
Oh my
sit and
God.
spins. It's the same. I've got to learn how to do that because that is my favorite border I've seen on a blanket so far.
I not only love it, it was fun. It was you would so enjoy it. Anyone would enjoy it. So I don't want to go into great detail because I talked a lot about it on Chelsea and my podcast yesterday, but I will tell you the name of the border is the Crochet Wave Fan Edging by Girly Bunches. It's a great tutorial. This was not my idea. I copied Robin of Sit and Spins. I talked all about her on our podcast because she's lovely and I love her.
I'm going to copy our corner to corner blanket. My next one
Yeah.
is going to be corner to corner. I tried looking up how to do it, but I'm like, oh, I have to think about it. So I put it off a little.
But you know what? If you go to her Ravelry page, yes, I talked about Ravelry pages. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. It was like a light bulb moment. She has a link to this tutorial and a link to the corner to corner.
Okay, I need to go on there. I go to just Robin Sit and Spin on. She's got a Ravelry page. You said
it's just Sit and Spins.
Sit
dash and dash spins.
Okay.
Poor Robin. She's gonna have all this traffic on her. She's like, why is everyone bothering me on Ravelry? Sorry, Robin. But
it's beautiful. Are you now? You also have another blanket on your needles.
Yes, I do.
Not needles, on your hook.
On my hook. And I worked a little on this too last week.
Now this is your magic knot blanket.
Yep. Look at magic knot. There's no threads.
See, that is so appealing.
Right?
I might magic knot, and I'm serious, put a little dab of super glue in there just for my own sanity. And there might be little scratchy places here and there, but that's okay.
Maybe not super glue, maybe fray check.
Does that withstand washing? I think it does, right?
That I don't know. I've never been a fray check fan. Like people fray check the ends of their fabric for cross stitch. I used to sell it. I'm not a fan of it, but I think it would work for this.
Just for peace of mind.
Yeah. So I did this much of this week. I was a crocheting fiend.
You really, really were.
I did about 6 inches on this.
The colors are gorgeous. Now, somewhere you were using your 25 skeins of Christmas.
That's, I think, this grouping. here, maybe.
I thought so.
Actually,
That's
this is one
beautiful.
down here. Chelsea had made me a magic knot ball with them. And then Seashore Sharon made me like 4 magic knot balls. She's the very best. I'm working on the last 2, I think.
And I love
Um,
your Witch Shoe Progress
yeah,
Keeper.
that was a gift from Tammy of Knit One Lasso Two. She makes great bags, and I bought the witch's foot bag from her.
Did she make that or purchase it? Do you know?
I have no clue, but it is the sweetest, cutest thing. I'm
It's
going.
adorable.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, it's for your bag." I'm like, "No, I'm using it right this second." I love it. I love it. So, having said that, I love this, but I also would really like to start a corner to corner.
I'll do it first. I'll do it for you.
Can I start one too?
Yes. Well.
I know. When you said yes, I'm like, "Whoa!"
Okay, before we go there, you did finish one blanket, but how many socks do you have on the needle, Sue?
We do not talk socks on this podcast. We talk crochet and we talk spinning.
Okay, but can I talk about one sock though?
Oh yes.
Can I
It's
just
killing
say,
you.
I'm gonna put it out there. Knitting knee socks with white yarn is not enjoyable.
Oh.
I only started this because Rachel really, really wanted a pair of knee-high cable socks, and I can't make myself knit on them, so I'm actually ordering another pair of. I use 00s. I only have one set of 00s, so I can start another sock while I try to make myself work on this.
And that is your go-to sock needle, 00?
Yes. Yeah.
How
And
do you only have one pair?
because I worked myself down, I was using size 1s with the 56 stitch circumference sock, but it was kind of loosey-goosey. So then I moved to 0s, and then 00s give me a 60 stitch sock.
Well, just do me a favor. Order like 4. Don't order 1.
I know. Well,
Like, that's just silly. That confines you to one pair of socks.
I know, and it's brutal. And Sue, okay, so cables, we've always talked about how we don't like to leave errors in our knitting. And I screwed up the very first cable, and I'm not going to fix it.
No, you would never know. Let me see. Show me close.
Okay, see how they go like this? See how this one right here goes the wrong way? And it's the very first cross. I was like, are you kidding me? This is 14 inches. And I looked down and I was like, nope, I'm not dropping all of that down.
No, Rachel, I love you, but nope.
So this took me like a week and a half for one sock.
It's gorgeous. She is going to love them.
I really want to make myself finish the second one before I start another one, but I don't know if I can do it. So,
well, you might need a little breather.
Yeah. But then I look at all your colorful socks and I'm like, this is why hand-dyed yarn is so popular, is because it makes knitting fun. Knitting with white it's like eating cardboard. It really, really is.
I made 3 pairs of cream socks for Chelsea's bridesmaids. That was part of their gift. They were gorgeous, but they were regular. They were even a little short.
Now, how did you like knitting with the white yarn?
Because the pattern was so good. It was a Wendy Johnson toe up.
I love her.
She is probably one of my favorite sock designers. She's amazing. I want to say I have all her books. I don't. I have her first one, Toe Up. They're amazing. And
I agree. I think I've knit almost every single sock out of that book. It's over on that shelf there. Wendy D. Johnson. Yeah, she's my first sock book pattern. I didn't say that right. Sock pattern book author.
Yeah. Her books are worth it because you want to make every sock in there, which makes me say I got to go get that book and look through it again.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so I'm sorry about the side detour. I had to show you that sock though, and the first cable being cross strong.
That is actually funny, and I would leave it in there just for the laugh that I would get every time I look at it. And you know, we are very similar as far as letting things go and not letting things go. That I would definitely let go, no question.
There's a few I found like 4 rows after, and I just dropped those 4 stitches down, recrossed them. So I did that like 3 times during the course of this. And then I was looking them over after I got to the cuff, and I was like, yeah. So I thought you could appreciate that.
Can't even imagine what you said. Darn it all.
That was it. It was very PG. There was no cussing at all. Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, we want to. I'm like, my brain is all over the place. Do we want to give away prizes? We were going to do some prizes for the crochet. We have prizes for the spinning. So should we do the crochet ones? I
think we should, because we'd like to keep people motivated to keep going. So let's do it.
Okay. Should we start out with the pattern or the yarn?
As long as you tell me who gets what, doesn't matter to me.
Okay. So we'll start out with the pattern.
Okay.
Our friend Debbie Reese of the Periscoping Sisters podcast has recently released a new scarf pattern called Vulvar. I think I'm saying that right? Vulvar?
I think it sounds right.
It's a really pretty scarf. It's knit in worsted weight yarn.
Actually, I think you can knit it in any weight.
Oh, I bet you could.
I think there's several options. I know there's a
worsted and DK weights.
Okay, no fingering. I thought that.
But it says also provides instructions to fully customize for any gauge and size. You're right.
I'm so smart.
You are very smart. Anyway, she has gifted a pattern for a prize for the podcast, and I thought it would be fun to give it away to one of our crochet rabbit hole participants. So I'm gonna go to the thread.
You're so good. I'm totally leaving this up to you.
I've got it all over here, so that's why
I'm like, ooh.
Okay, we got 130 posts. So I'm gonna go to random.org.
Okay.
I'm gonna go from 1 to 130, or probably 2, because the first one's probably ours. Hit generate. Okay, it says post 23.
Ooh, that's the first page.
Okay, it is. Now I have to find the right tab. Oh no. Okay, no, I found it.
Oh, phew. I'm like, ooh, if you need me, I'm probably not going to be helpful.
Okay, 23 is at the bottom of the page. Let me see. So that is Sera M, Seram. So let's see. I'm going to hover and see if it gives me a name. Sarah. So Sarah, congratulations. I will contact Debbie and we'll get that pattern prize out to you ASAP.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then you have a prize.
I have a prize. I'm going to give away a set of mini skeins. I'm not sure which ones yet, and I have no clue, but it's going to be a set. So you can add them to your blanket if you haven't finished, or if you have finished, you can add them to your next blanket.
And they'll be the 20-gram minis too.
20-gram minis. I'm not sure how many. I know I've got a bunch laying around of different colors I've worked with, and
yay! So when we announce the winner, they just need to message you their address, and you'll drop them in the mail.
Yes, message me on Instagram, knit24. Okay. Easiest place to get me.
Knit24. 4. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna hit generate, and it says post 73.
Page 3.
Okay, thank you, because I was like, let me do the math in my head. Okay, post 73, and that is Sin Spin.
Oh my gosh, Robin! Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh, congratulations, Robin. Well, she knows what to do.
She knows what to do. Oh, Robin, you're the very best.
That makes me
so
happy.
Exciting. That makes me really happy.
Because we're copying all her blanket. So
I know. I always feel like people are like, oh my God, it's the best. It's like, it's not my idea. I didn't create it.
Robin did.
So Robin, get a hold of me.
Yay. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to start another blanket, but I don't have any blanket to show you. I showed you a finished blanket last time, I think.
You did. You're ahead of the game. But you have more spinning. You have more knitting on your spinning than I do.
Yes. I finished up a couple more bats. So we'll move along to this sweater spin part. I'm just going to show it to you.
I love it. Every time you show it, I love it.
I'm really, really happy. And the funny thing is it's so soft. Okay, so as I was going through my craft room to turn it into a dye studio, I also went through all my hand spun to see what I wanted to keep. And it's interesting. A lot of my early hand spun felt like rope because I had this habit of like over twisting my yarn. For some reason, I thought like I really needed to spin my yarn, and I definitely did. And this, it's so much softer than my first spinning, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like going through my hand spun and my stash was it made me realize how far I've come with spinning, because this is a soft, pliable yarn, whereas my early yarns were not soft. And the only difference is the amount of twist that's in the yarn.
So is it the amount of twist in the plying or the before the plying or both?
For me it was before the plying, because when I ply, what I do is I watch as it's plying together, and when the hair starts straightening out, that's when you know it's balanced. I got that tip somewhere, and that's what I do when I spin. And then after a while, I count how many treadles it takes to straighten out the hairs, and then I don't have to look. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and I know that. And every now and then I check. So it had to be the amount of twist that went into the individual plies, because I always ply them together the same. I add enough twist until the hairs straighten out. But it kind of hurts my eyes a little to have to pay. But after I get it down again, I just start counting my treadles instead of. Yeah. Is that weird? You're looking at me like that's a weird thing to do.
No, it's good. And I think I wish I was like that. Like really, truly, I just do it so instinctually. And it's interesting because today I was dyeing some neutrals, and I dye instinctually too, as far as like color, how much, how little. And I thought, I don't do anything like normal. Like, cause I went to like, oh, I should write down what I did. It's like, no, cause I didn't, it's instinctual. It's
Yeah.
like, wait till the color looks the way you want it. And that's how many.
Yeah, but it works for you. I think we discussed this before. Like everybody has a different approach and a different learning style. So
Yeah, I just am so undocumented kind of thing. I just do it.
although when I was dyeing like regular hanks of yarn, I could not for the life of me come up with regular colorways. The whole thought of measuring and writing it down was like I
don't do it.
I could not make myself do it. And my hat was off to people who like measure it out with the water and everything's the exact same. That's very challenging.
It's very challenging. I can't do it. I can't. I really noticed today. It's like, don't even try, Sue. It's not going to make sense. It's not, just do it. Just go and do it. And do it consistently enough so that you get the feel for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But I do that with ply. I don't know how I ply. I just do it. I don't know how I spin. I just do it.
I don't know. Like, well, some people get really, really technical. Like, you can't, like, with a 2-ply yarn, I think I was reading this in Ply Magazine. If you have, like, 7 treadles per whatever on your ply, you only need 2/3 of that amount of twist when you ply it together. Anyway, people get really, really technical. And I was like, that's not going to work for me.
Not at all, because to me, it would defeat that gorgeous or that great peacefulness. If I was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, I wouldn't find it relaxing. And I do find spinning so peaceful and relaxing and different than knitting.
Yeah.
Different.
Well, with the spinning of the individual singles, I end up in a rhythm and I don't count.
Me too.
And then when I ply them, it does take me a while to find a rhythm, because I'm making sure to get a balanced yarn, those hairs are straight. And so I pay attention for a while, count the treadles, and then eventually I don't have to count the treadles because it's a rhythm. The plying them together is not as soothing as the initial spinning of the singles.
I'm pretty sure I probably don't ply correctly.
But here's the thing. Some people underply on purpose. They under twist on purpose their plies together. They over twist their ply. Like, I think as long as you like the end result, it's all knittable.
And it feels normal. And I did get some knitting done.
That is gorgeous, Sue.
Oh, thank you. I have to work on it. I may have to work on it.
Now I have to point out some things about your boxy. Can I?
Okay.
It's like, for a hand-spun project, Sue, it's 50 inches around in an adult-size sweater. You, like, picked the most challenging sweater, because the boxy has, like, double your width required, right?
Can I tell you how many times I've almost changed my mind and ripped it out and started something else?
Because it's so many stitches?
But the thing is, it's a lot of stitches, but the sleeves are, like, this big. because there's such an drop shoulder.
That's true.
Literally, the sleeves will be nothing. So once I hit a certain point, it's super pretty.
It is gorgeous. It's going to be the prettiest boxy on the planet. It really, really is. It's just, of course, my mind goes to like how much yarn, how much spinning.
I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because I'm on. Oh, I thought I had this. Hold on. My bed rug has taken over. I have this much left. And then I have to start spinning again. And I have a lot to spin.
Because you dyed up a pound, but you have another pound of bare.
Yeah, but I'm super nervous about dyeing it because I don't remember how I dyed this.
Well, you have a picture. You could always watch the episode where you show the yarn to get an idea of placement and color, because you know the dye colors you use, right?
I have the dyes all over. They're mixed. So they're mixed, but I don't remember.
You could like fast forward through, find the spot where you're holding up and then go from there. You don't want to rip out all that knitting. You are going to have the prettiest boxy ever. I like how you immediately start knitting. I would do it, except for I'm out of yarn. I have to start spinning again. Okay, so when do I have to be done? We decided, we picked, because otherwise we'll never do it. Well, not that we'll never do it, but it could take us like 2 years. Let's be real. It could take us 2 years to finish.
It still could. It still could.
But we decided June 1st.
I'm going to try really, really, really
It's
hard.
February, March, April, May, June. That's 4 months to finish.
And obviously, if you don't finish, just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. The threads will still be there.
No, the pressure is really on us, just so we can wrap it up and really
hand out prizes
honor everyone that's doing this process with us. And it's such a huge process. I just don't want to lose our steam. See my plying? I don't really think it's that great.
It's not focusing, so it's hard to see. Like, I judge plying whether the hairs are straight or not.
I don't know. What hairs are you talking about? I don't see hairs.
The individual strands, when you take your fiber and you start your singles, you're twisting them and they all like get curled. And when you ply them together, you ply them in the opposite direction and those hairs straighten out. And once they hit the straightened out, you've got a balanced yarn, which you don't have to have a perfectly balanced yarn to have it be knittable. I just do that just because I learned it somewhere, and that's how I ply my yarn together.
I have to go back to my Craftsy spinning class. I really watched the first episode.
Oh, the worsted to woolen class? I don't know. I'm wondering where I learned this whole watch the hairs thing, because that is what I do. And what's interesting, Sue, is when you're plying them together, when they go straight, the whole yarn plumps. Like there's a visible change in the yarn when those hairs go straight. It's weird.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not quite identifying with what you're talking about, but I'm going to.
But the older I get, the harder it is for me to like see it. I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna say I'm not sure that I completely get that.
I'm getting to the point where I might need a big magnifying glass so I can watch. It is getting harder and harder for me to see the hairs really clearly, especially if it's like not a brightly lit room.
I do it all by feel and rhythm. Like I get into a rhythm and that's the rhythm I stay in. When I'm plying, it's definitely like boom, 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 boom.
Well,
boom.
and the only reason people talk about a balanced yarn is because if it's over twisted or under twisted, when you ply, it can skew your knitting. But then I saw someone do a step, like they over twisted it this much, and this much, and then knitted the pieces to show how much it skewed. And it took a considerable amount of over twisting to actually affect and skew your knitting. So to me, the takeaway was that sometimes it's overstated. The importance of a balanced yarn is actually overstated because you really, really have to. It has to be significantly overspun in order to affect the knitting, and then a lot of the skewing can be blocked out anyway.
Right. I can't wait. I'm really nervous. This is going to be way too big.
I don't think. Well, we had talked about that because we figured out you have, I don't know, like 20 inches or better of positive ease. But then we went and read the pattern and it said you needed like double your body size.
Yeah, it's crazy. Chelsea made one. I think she lives in hers.
I think it will be roomy and cozy and warm and wonderful.
So how many more inches do you think I'll get out of this?
One. No, I don't know. I'm just teasing. Only because the circumference is so big. Probably a couple at least. This has got 4 skeins in it. You know, it just takes a lot. And yours is twice, like, considerably bigger. So this would be probably 8. Like, this amount of knitting would probably be 8 hanks for you.
And this is only my first skein.
It is not.
Is it? I don't remember what I've spun and what I haven't.
If it is, that is a lot of knitting out of one skein.
I had one full skein and then, okay, out of my bobbins, I got one, like, because I didn't use the plying bobbins because it was just too much of a hassle. So I got one skein and then this.
It went a really long way.
Yeah,
You have magical qualities, Sue. I don't understand how you do what you do.
I have magical powers.
For me, I couldn't do what you do and have success. I just know I couldn't. I love that about you.
This, I have to admit, is really fun.
It is gorgeous. It's really, really gorgeous. And it's interesting how it's leaning even a little bit more green than... It's like a sea foamy neutral though, right?
It's exactly what I was going to say. It's a very sea foamy green with pops of lime green and gray. It's crazy. It's like this lime green stripe in it.
Is beautiful. I love that.
I do really like it. I haven't hit love yet. I think it's because I keep being a little unsure of, am I really going to be able to finish this gigantic thing?
It's a lot of yarn to spin. And
it's a lot of yarn, but it's making me, this is really good because this is making me want to spin. Because I'm going to run out.
I have run out, and I've got 2-3 bats already made up that I'm gonna spin tonight. I am.
I think I might too. I got to put that bed rug away. Boy, that's just gonna like. It's like looking at me like.
Although of course I'm like I would be totally supportive of you if you wanted to work on that too.
No, I don't. I want to. Oh, I dropped it. I've been dying to work on sweaters again because I've been making so many socks because I've been using our yarn. So in between skeining everything, which is 100 million mini skeins in there to be skeined up, and
for your update, you have an update coming Saturday. No, Friday at 7.
Friday the 7th at 7. Yeah, I thought you meant the 7th at 7.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big one, I think. Depends on my week. I have a crazy busy week.
Lots of meetings.
Way too many. It's going to snow though again, Wednesday, Thursday.
I wonder if it's ever going to snow here again. We had 1 snow so far and then 84 degrees yesterday. I know.
I honestly would have a headache all the time if I lived there.
Well, and it's weird. I feel like we're in the middle of 2, like a cold front and a hot front or warm front or whatever they're called. Because it's like super warm and then it's super cold and then it's super warm and then it's super cold. But you know what? I hardly leave my house, so it's always 73 degrees for me.
That's how I am. I have to go out to the grocery store because it's Jacob's birthday tomorrow, my Valentine's baby. Fingers crossed Mina's going to have a Valentine's baby.
I know, it's so close. Oh, that makes me think we have prizes.
Oh, we do. Get back to that.
Okay, yeah. So for this spin along, let's do that. Mina has released a sock club. Let me open it up over here.
Such a generous.
Yes, it's a sock pattern club, the New York collection. It's got 7 patterns plus her vanilla sock pattern in it. It's a club that starts on March 1st. And then she's releasing a pattern each month, which is really, really cool. It's a $15 prize. And it's $15 if you buy it before the club starts. And then I think $17 until the last pattern is released, and then full price at night after the last pattern's released. So now is the time to get it if you want it. But she generously offered a viewer the entire sock club. So I thought it would be fun to give it to one of our sweater spin-along participants.
Absolutely. Not that they should be distracted by knitting socks during our sweater.
Not like we have, because
Not
we're
like
not doing that at all. Okay, so let's see. Let me go to your group. Let's see. Legacy Knit Nerds. I gotta find the thread. Spin along. We've got 255 posts in there. So let me put 255.
255.
Hit generate. It's 142. What page is that?
Page 6.
Yay. Okay, thank you for that. I can't, my brain does not want to do that.
I'm so good at basic math. Other than that, I'm terrible.
What did I say, 162?
142.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay. I remember nothing. Okay. 142 is, I want to say it right, Bogga, B-O-G-G-A. I think she's knitting in France. Her little icon says knitting in France. So congratulations. I will let Mina know, and that sock pattern collection is on its way to you. Okay, and I also have a bat, which I didn't bring downstairs. It's up in my dye studio / craft room. I was going to give one of the bats away that I had made, the red one. Maybe I'll insert a picture if I'm good. I don't know if I will be. Okay, generate post 124. Let's see who that is.
Page 5.
Thank you.
Anytime.
What number did I
124.
124. Thank you. I have no short-term memory, apparently.
It's a good thing.
And it's Miri Mari is the winner. She's Marion from Germany. So congratulations, Marion. If you will message me on Ravelry or Instagram, either way is fine. AndreSueKnits. I'm AndreSue on Ravelry, AndreSueKnits on Instagram. Your address, I'll get that bat out in the mail to you.
Congratulations to all our winners.
And thank you, everybody who's donated, like Mina and Debbie, for donating prizes. I really, really appreciate that.
Absolutely. So exciting. So hopefully that little spurt of gifts will get people motivated to keep going, because there will be more at the end.
There will be.
June 1st.
Yes. And we decided we're going to try to podcast once a month going forward together to like touch base and
keep, I say keep everyone motivated, but it's really to keep us motivated.
Because I noticed that since we didn't record together for like 4 weeks, I sort of like got distracted.
Me too. Me too. It's awful. It's like, I so knit like this though. I go in such spurts.
Every time I see you, you're working on a different project.
I know. You keep working on those socks. I'm like, really? She's still on those socks. I'd be bored by now.
And it's like I'm hating, like, this sounds terrible, but I'm like hate knitting on them. I'm like, oh, I'm going to finish these so I can get my needles back. Like, I'm not enjoying that. And I don't want to infuse that kind of energy into these socks, you know, because they're going to Rachel.
I think the key is to have something else to work on in between.
And what I really want to work on is another pair of socks with like some crazy bold colors. I want to knit with some hand-dyed yarn. And so I am going to get myself probably a couple more sets of...
Please order 3 sets.
I was thinking I might do a magic loop one and then 2 shorty ones, like, because I usually use the 16-inch.
I forget you use 16 inches.
But I am thinking I might order a 40-inch and then a couple more of these, and I might magic loop one just for something different.
That used to be the only way I knit socks, and I used to teach that way, and it was like it's the only way. And then I went to magic loop, and I never looked back.
I'm going to finish up some designs for some mini blinks. I'm gonna call them. I like that. I'm gonna call them blinks, and maybe
I love them.
If I can have them done in time, I'll have some in the shop update Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. But if not, it'll be next. My alarm's going off.
I was gonna say.
That's okay. It's reminding me that I've got to take Rachel to Aerial Silks here in a few. So we should probably wrap it up here. And
we'll wrap it up.
So thank you so much for being on the podcast again, Sue.
Oh, my pleasure as always.
It's so much fun. I really, really enjoy doing this.
It's very fun. It's very fun, and I'm feeling very motivated. It was perfect timing.
I love seeing that your hand-knit sweater is in your hands again.
I know. I'm kind of loving it right at the moment.
I'm gonna spin because I can't knit on mine without any more yarn. So I'm gonna spin tonight too. Maybe we'll touch base tomorrow and we can spin together.
Oh, that would be heaven. It's Jacob's birthday. I have a very busy day.
Yeah, dinner and dessert and yeah.
Yeah, lots of cooking. It's okay.
It's all good.
It's all good.
What we do for our babies.
I know. You make socks, I make dinner.
I make giant vanilla cabled socks. Yeah. All right, Sue. Well, thanks so much for joining, and thank you everybody for watching. And until next time, bye.
Bye.
La